What's going on, everybody? Back at the truck. Gotta do a few things today. Found out I have a pretty bad leak going into the cab. This last trip was a pretty bad rainstorm, so the top half, I stopped in the evening to go to bed, do my night routine and all that, and get in bed, and this thing is soaked. So it's gotta be leaking from up top somewhere. I'm thinking it's where the cab extension panels mount all the way on top. So I'm gonna try to go up there and see what's going on. Or it could be, the top of this is fiberglass, and it's essentially a three-piece. So you have your right side, you have your left side, and then you have the middle, and they all come together. And I'm assuming it's just epoxied in place. But I have before where the three pieces meet. Right up top there's two big seams. I have put urethane on there before, and for you guys that don't know what urethane is, it's the same thing that they use for automotive glass. But for whatever reason, this just happened recently. But it could be, like I said, where those two screws go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up there here in a little bit, take those screws out, and then I'm going to seal them with urethane, the same thing. So I'll put some urethane around it, bolt them back down. Should be good to go if that is the issue. Hopefully it's nothing else. But I also have something else to do, which I'm kind of a little bit ticked off about, but it is what it is. The shifter setup that I have on there, obviously that's just an auxiliary shifter from Four State Trucks. I was having a little bit of issues with it this last trip, and when I came back it was just acting up so bad that I got to get rid of it, at least for now. Hate to do it, but it is what it is. I gotta go to work. I don't have too much time to mess with this thing. I gotta jump on the W9 and start working on that, but for whatever reason it seems like every time I pick a weekend to start on this thing, something happens with it. So she's jealous, I guess. Worse than my wife. And speaking of my wife, she brought me coffee. Thank you. Once I take it out, I'll investigate and see what actually went wrong with it. See if it's something that I did when I installed it. Maybe I just didn't do it right, and something, I end up messing something up, or what else it could be. I don't know. Like I said, I'll go through it, and then, if it's something that I did wrong and it's my fault, I'll own up to that. I got no reason not to. But at this point, it's just speculation. I have no idea, honestly, what went on with it. But so that needs to be done, and the top needs to be done. And again, I was planning on starting on the W9 as far as taking the interior apart this weekend, but I don't know how much time that's going to give me, or it depends on how much time this takes for me to jump back on that and then take care of that. And tomorrow I actually have to go out pretty early. The load that I brought back this past week, and I didn't film much this past week, and I apologize for that. And the footage that I got, the content wasn't good, and I didn't want to put it out there. So. But I brought it back, a load back from Stillmore, Georgia, for Costco, and they refused two pallets due to the pallets were actually damaged on the bottom. No product itself was damaged, just the pallet was very little. I was actually very surprised that they did that, but the broker that I dealt with said that that's a pretty standard thing for them to do. Anyway, I got there, I got hung up there for quite a while on Friday, so I couldn't go to the place that would take the damaged stuff. And what they'll do is they'll repalletize it and they'll just send it back. But the broker was pretty cool with it. He'll take care of me as far as pay a little bit. But if anybody that does this, you're in the same situation, just make sure you get a confirmed rate confirmation with the adjusted price before you do anything, because at least in my experience, there has been plenty of brokers that promise you one thing and they don't end up doing it. But whatever, it is what it is. What you also, I guess, get to see today too is, so this was the old shifter on this truck when I first got it, but something, this wasn't working all that great, so I ended up getting a new one from Freightliner. It's $50, and I'll go through that today. So we'll take the cap off, take this top piece off to replace it with this. That way I can just put the ball that I have on one of the shifter, I'll put it on this. I don't want to just keep it like that. I don't really like that configuration, although it's pretty ergonomic. As far as how that setup is. It seems to fit my hand, fit my hand pretty nice. I just don't like it. So I'm just gonna do the ball setup, but we'll go through all that stuff. I did actually have to have my wife actually help me a little bit today. I got to go up underneath the truck to take down the other shifter, the auxiliary shifter, and I need somebody to come up and actually hold the screws while I'm taking them down from down, just to like counter hold it. Anyway, alright, so this is how this is, guys, up underneath the truck there. Transferring these connectors over, so from the old one to the new one, and I'm just taking them out one piece at a time, and that's it. So this thing has 4 air connections, which are going to be for both your high-low range and then your splitter. If this would have been a 18 speed, and I believe even a 15 speed, it would have had one more connection there. I believe, I don't remember it 100% correctly, so don't take my word on that. So I just broke these loose, and you can do it with a wrench, but it's very hard of where it is. So what I found out is just a 3/8 socket actually goes in there pretty good, and you're able to do it that way. So anyway, here we go. Teflon tape. Now it doesn't have to be super tight, just tight enough. So that's why I use like a small ratchet, and when I do it, I try not to grab it here to lengthen the fulcrum. I try to grab it here in the middle and then just give it a little tighten there. So yeah, I'll just do that. Still need that because I got to take this cap off. But before I do that, I give these a little clean with some brake clean. That's it. So I gotta take this cap off so I can take this out, but I'll just take this out real quick first. So if you order one of these adapters for a ball, all you're going to get is the adapter itself. It'll be in the bag. There's 2 screws and then a retainer nut here. The nut's in the truck. and also the nut is behind the camera. Ha! But really important, when you open, whether it's a brand new one like I'm doing right now, or whether it's the one that you have on your truck, and then you're just trying to convert into this. Take this out, it's pretty simple. Just need a flathead of some sort to just pop this out. There you go. And you got these two torque screws that you got to take out there to separate this. What's really important when you do this is take these out, make sure you keep pressure on this up top. Do this in a clean area, because when you separate this, the splitter might come up with it as well, and there's parts that's in there. So when you take this apart, there's that little rubber piece that goes right in there, and you don't want to lose that. And if this all comes out, there's also got springs on the other side of it. So like I said, just make sure you open it very carefully. So all of that stuff is going to have to be transferred to this. So then you could put this on top of there. So just take it up just like that. Put it in there. No use for this anymore. Set that aside. And then there's that. So there's the screws. Tightening on by hand right now, and then make sure everything is good. So on a 13 speed, when the high-low range selector is on the low position, this piece in here, there's a little tab that comes up and it doesn't allow the splitter to move. When it's pulled in the high position, that moves away from that, and that's why you're able to move it. So make sure that functions like it's supposed to. So it functions good. Low, splitter doesn't work. Perfect. Now I can just tighten these two right up here. And these you don't have to go crazy with, guys. Just a little tight. Make sure that everything still operates good. And that's pretty much it. Now you can do all of this without having to take this out. So if this is still mounted on the shifter itself, you could still do it there with no problems at all. Don't have any issues. Just still be careful when you take it apart, that way everything doesn't fall out. And if something falls out, just make sure you put it back. And I'll show you on this old one what I mean. Alright, so here's the old one. It's, you know, as if this is what you're taking apart. When you take this apart, if it's already on the shifter, chances are it's going to come out like this. But what also happened to this is those pieces stayed in there, so you got to make sure you put them back. And all this is just two springs. They're in there. You got that little plastic piece that goes in it, and then a rubber seal that goes over top of it. and this is actually what goes over these holes, like so, and that's what actually switches your high and low. So when you go to high, both of those holes are together, and when you go low, one is exposed, so it exhausts the air. And what I was talking about the 13 speed and how it works is this little tab right here. When it's in low position, see how that's up like that? So that sits inside of this channel here, and that's why you can't move it. So make sure when you put them back together, if this is something that you're doing, just make sure you do it, right, slowly. There's plenty of YouTube videos out here on how you do this, just to kind of help you out. But since I have everything open, I figured I'd kind of let you guys know how that works. So put this back together. Since I have this, I'm just going to leave it complete, although this doesn't work all that great. So this is what I had on here before, and because all I had was the ball, didn't really have to worry about it being too far up. But now this, even if it were to be screwed down, it sits way higher than what I wanted to. So I bought, and this I just bent myself so it was a little forward, it wasn't so far back. But I bought a 6-inch extension instead of the 9-inch that I had before. And I'm not even going to bend it. And it puts it up to the height where I actually like it best. So this here, guys, the extensions, I don't like them to be on there just hand tight. Reason being is, most likely to move the shifter around. You can't put a little Loctite on there. I don't like Loctite on these just in case I got to take it out. But what I do is just 2 nuts, not including myself, of course. Give it a little tight, and then you could use that to tighten that up. And just move that out of the way. This nut, you're going to leave it in there anyway. Then put your knob in. To where you like it the best. Now, I like things to be kind of like straightforward. There's a lot of guys that kind of keep it out to the side like that a little bit, and it, just the way they prefer it. Like I said, I kind of like it to be a little bit more straight, so I just kind of line that up, and then just Alright guys, so what I'm actually going to do now is where that auxiliary shifter was, so this is just a PACCAR part number. So this is for like the W9s or the Peterbilts, the upper shifter boot trim. So I'm going to use this as a stencil, and I got a sheet of aluminum here from when I did all the panels on the truck, and I'm just going to cut out one like this and just make this as a blocking plate. I'll scuff it to match the one that I have around the shifter as well. So Yep, looks like it's going in from there, guys. Alright guys, so here's what we ended up with. I gotta jump in here and clean the truck real quick, but that thing is not pretty, but it's effective. At least at least it's there, so when I end up figuring out what I want to do with this thing and putting it back, I can do so pretty easily. So this is what this thing gets. I mean, pretty simple process really. It's a nice rig. It looks like it's a nice heavy duty piece, but all it's got at the bottom of it is just a old school, push-pull type high-low range selector, like the one that I actually have mounted on the dash below the switches, the window switches, and it just operates while you move this back and forth, which maybe that's why I was having issues with it. Maybe it was because it was in the dirt and all that stuff and it's really not made for that, or maybe I've been going at it too much and I overworked it. From what I saw, it looks like it actually cracked the body of that valve itself. So regardless of what it was, for now I guess it's just gonna have to stay the way it is. I just need obviously the truck functional. I would have loved to just fix it. I don't have one of those to change it and put another one in there, unless I take the high-low range selector with from the dash, which I can't because I need that too. So I just went to the regular 13-speed configuration, took care of the top, and hopefully I can get started on that damn thing next weekend. But we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you're notified as soon as there's a video coming up. Comment, share, make fun of me, whatever the case is. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you on the next one.